So last month I made a video about how online business has radically shifted over this past year or so, especially with all of these new AI tools that suddenly flooded the market and enabled people to flood the market with free content. If you are an infopreneur, if you're an educator, even if you're a coach or a consultant, you might be worried that now there will be so much competition with content online that people won't have a reason to buy your educational products. So in that last video, I shared 5 different tactics that course creators and coaches can use to adjust their product and their marketing strategies so that they can stay relevant, so that they can keep their businesses growing, and most importantly, so that they can stay profitable and even grow their businesses. Well, in today's video, what I want to do is share with you exactly how I am shifting my business strategy for this coming year, shifting the products that I'm selling and how I'm selling them so that we can keep the business growing, keep the profits up, and stay competitive and relevant. So I hope that this gives you some real life application for how you might use some of those principles in your own business, and it might be interesting to see behind the scenes in mine as well. So there are 3 main shifts that I am going to be making to my business strategy this year. And the first one is a shift away from signature product offers to some more variety, more fresh new offers. Now, to explain what I mean by this, I got to give you a little bit of backstory. So when I got started with my online business, what is now about 7 years ago, for the first few years, I was just figuring out what I wanted to sell, how I wanted to help people, and what people wanted. So I was creating and launching new offers every couple of months. Now, after a couple of years of this, as you can imagine, I had a lot of different offers and it was kind of chaotic, but there was a method to the madness. I was trying to find just a few really good offers. I wasn't trying to create a ton of different offers. So after those first couple of years, I started working on paring down the list of different products that I was selling. Again, trying to figure out what the best combination and the smallest number of products that I could sell would be. And a big thing that guided me through this was the fact that a lot of my peers and mentors and competitors in this online business industry like to focus on selling just 1 or 2 or maybe 3 different signature offers. And there is a lot of value and truth to the idea that selling less offers is easier and that you don't need to sell a lot of different offers to scale your business to 6 or 7 figures or even past that point. However, here's been my experience with selling less offers. I've found that in years when my business had more frequent launches and promotions, we made more money. And the years when we had fewer promotions, we made less money. And it's been very consistent that way. But once I had pared my list of products down to just 4 different products, in order to sell very frequently at all, I had to launch those same products several times each year. Some of them are set up on automated evergreen funnels, which is great and it creates passive income and it works beautifully for online courses, but it doesn't work very well for higher ticket group coaching type of programs, which are some of the programs that do generate some of the most revenue in my business and some of the products that I enjoy running the very most. So I found myself having to launch these products 3 times a year each to be able to do a promotion every month, which is the frequency that I've found makes my business the most money. And that honestly just wasn't that fun for me. It felt stale and dry to have to repeat the same words so many times throughout the year. It didn't feel fresh or fun or new or exciting. And I didn't feel like I was serving my customers as well as I could if I had been more interested and engaged with what was happening. So this past year, what we tried was we just cut down the number of promotions and we just launched each of those 4 signature products 1 time each. And that was way easier from the promotion side, but it didn't make as much money as when we had done a promotion every month of the year. So the first big shift that I'm making in my business for 2025 is to bring back releasing new fresh offers on the regular. Now, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due here. I initially got this idea from reading Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Offers. If you haven't already read that book, it is a great one, a great primer for learning how to sell offers online or off, just how to create really compelling offers. Hormazi and I definitely part ways when it comes to some of values and work ethics and things like that, but when it comes to marketing and sales strategy, he is spot on. Anyway, in his book, $100 Million Offers, he talks about how in his past experience with the gyms and fitness industry, they would have this problem where they were selling the same thing over and over again, basically lose fat, gain muscle. But if they just kept marketing that exact same thing over and over again, the market would become desensitized to it and would ignore the offer and would slowly stop buying. So what they would do to counter this was to launch new, fresh offers very regularly. And the offers actually weren't that different. They were just repackaging the same thing in different ways to make it appeal to different people and for different reasons. So for example, they might do like a 6-week muscle building program or an 8-week summer shred. And so these two different things might appeal to different target markets, and they can put different names to them and have a different promotion for each. And so it gets people to pay attention. And when I read this, it sounded so appealing to me because I am someone who really likes spontaneity and new things and innovation. And so the idea of launching new, fresh programs on a regular basis sounds really fun to me. So I'm really looking forward to leaning into that strategy this year. Now, I want to clarify here that we are definitely not saying goodbye to our signature programs. We have built those programs over the past several years. We've had hundreds of students go through each of them. There is so much proof that those processes work, and they've taken on lives of their own. Each of the 4 products that I sell today, being Creator Fast Track, Startup Society, Validate, and 100K Mastermind, they're almost each their own business. They're certainly their own program, and they've got loyal fans and followers and people who I know want to take them in the future, and we love running those programs. But it's definitely going to be best for my team, myself, and our customers if we can come at each cohort who goes through the program with fresh energy and lots of it. Now, the second change that I'm making might come as a surprise to some of you because I know you probably know that I'm a big proponent of using automated funnels to sell pre-recorded online courses to generate passive income in your business. And so I want to start out by saying that I am not saying goodbye to that strategy. That still is a huge revenue contributor in my business, and it's passive income. So there is definitely no reason to turn those funnels off or to shut down those programs. I know people still want to buy them, but the shift that I'm going to be making is to focus on and prioritize live interactive programs over canned online courses. And the reason for this is with all this free information, this free content that's on the internet these days, people are way less interested in paying money for information, but they're still very interested in paying for the help that they need and support and interaction. And they are valuing that more than ever. So just as a little example of this, when we have launched our live programs over the past few years, I've noticed this sticking point that a lot of people have. From my perspective, the main value of the program is the curriculum, because even when it is a live interactive program, I always create a very comprehensive curriculum to go with it so everyone is working through the same thing and they can learn at their own pace and on their own time, and they have that material to reference and all of that, right? Like, I want there to be source material for them to learn from. And so to me, that's the main value, and then the coaching is important as well, the fact that they can reach out to us and get their questions answered. And the part that I've been considering to be the least important is the weekly group coaching sessions, which is something that we have included with a lot of our programs. But what I've noticed is that those, and specifically the schedule of those, is a sticking point for a lot of customers. Whenever we're promoting a new program, people are always asking us, when are the live coaching sessions? So we'll check the calendar and we'll say, okay, they're Tuesdays at 9 o'clock. And sometimes people say, oh, great, that works for me. And other times they say, oh, that's not gonna work for me. I guess I can't sign up. And to me, that's always been surprising because I'm like, well, you still can get the one-on-one coaching component. So you can schedule a session with your coach whenever you need, and you still can watch the recordings of those group sessions if you want to find out what happened there. But I realized that people actually love those live classes. And so we've decided to not only focus on mostly doing live interactive programs, but lead with the schedule of the group sessions as one of the main features. Now, just to be clear here, I don't mean that that is the main thing that we'll lead with. People choose to buy products because of the outcome the product will get them, the results the product will get them, how the product will positively affect their lives. But after they decide that they want to buy the product, their left brain steps in and says, whoa, slow down here. Is this really a good decision? And the left brain wants the facts. And so this is why it is important to mention how many videos your course includes, or when those live sessions happen, or how many reviews you've gotten, or different things like that. Like essentially the facts of how good is this product and what do you really get. And in the past, when it came to those features, I focused mostly on the curriculum. How comprehensive is this curriculum? Will it really teach you what you need to know, etc. But what I've realized is that at this point, people are so overwhelmed with so much information that they aren't valuing that very highly. And so they're really just wondering, is this class at a time that I will be able to fit into my schedule? And that makes me think of how people sign up for college classes. Sure, first of all, they think about like, is this a class I need to take and does it sound interesting? But after that, they're really looking at the schedule and just trying to figure out what classes can work together in their schedule. And that's at the end of the day what causes them to choose to sign up for this class over that class. So going into 2025, a shift we're going to make is not only to focus on doing mostly live interactive programs, but to lead with the specific day and time. So for example, we might run a cohort of 100K Mastermind that is at Tuesdays at 9 o'clock. And then we can run another cohort of 100K Mastermind or a different program that's at Wednesdays at 3 p.m. By leading with that piece of information, we can hand it over to their left brain to use as a piece of evidence to justify the purchase to the right brain that already wants to sign up. Okay, so now let's talk about the third big change that I'm making in my business this year, which is a shift away from educational product. Now, a little bit of backstory on this one. When I got started with my online business, I was actually doing marketing services for clients, not selling educational products. I was building their websites and running their ads online, which was fun, but it didn't seem like the work that I could really do the best. My history is in education. I was a music teacher for over 12 years, and that was work that I loved. I ran a big music school here in the Willamette Valley. It was a lot of fun, but what I didn't like was that I didn't get to set my hours at all. I had to work evenings and weekends because that's when the kids are available for the lessons, and so eventually I sold that business. But what I did love about it was I loved the teaching. Teaching is something that comes really naturally to me. I love thinking about how to explain things to people in ways that will be really easy for them to understand and implement. And so when it came to my online marketing business, there was this problem that I was running into where sometimes I was frustrated because I couldn't get results for my clients because of fundamental problems in their business. Maybe there were problems with their marketing messages or with their websites and I was running ads for them, or maybe they were quite frankly selling a product that there just wasn't demand for. And it was frustrating to me because I really wanted to get them good results, but they didn't really understand what the problem was since they didn't have their hands on marketing the business. And so they didn't see where these issues were coming up. And so I wanted to teach them how to market their businesses for themselves so they could have their hands on it, they could see those problems, and they could solve those problems. So I made that shift about 7 years ago to the educational side of the online business world, and I've never looked back until this year. And what happened this year that gave me a bit of a pause and caused me to reevaluate my business strategy is the onset of all of these AI tools. Now there's so much content and information out there that it just doesn't make that much sense for people to pay for information anymore. Now don't get me wrong, there's a very real and good case to be made for buying an online course still to this day because you're buying a complete system, steps 1 through 10 to get you from where you are now to where you want to go. And if it's a well-done course or coaching program, that can help you so much more than free videos or podcasts or certainly AI-written articles. But the thing is that a lot of people at this point are feeling overwhelmed by how much content and information there is, and they feel like they know what they need to do to get started, but then they're kind of lost and overwhelmed from there. And so what they really want and need is some help along the way. They need some of the work done for them. They need some guidance and someone actually coming alongside them. And so I am really leaning into the side of online business business where we are selling done-for-you resources and tools to help people do this work that they want to do, to help people follow the steps and make it easier for them. Now, with my educational products, I have always tried to include as many done-for-you resources as I can. I've included them as bonuses. So for example, if I'm teaching someone how to build an automated sales funnel and they need to write some emails, then I have written, for example, template emails that they can use to fill in the blanks to write their own emails. I've created outlines for them to use. So I just wanted to do as much of the work for them as possible to save them that time and effort. So the shift that I'm making this coming year is to, instead of just selling those done-for-you resources as bonuses, we are setting up a digital product shop where people can directly buy those resources. They can buy the email templates, they can buy the sales page templates, they can buy the slide decks, they can buy the privacy policies and the disclaimers for their websites. All of the different assets, the content that you need to run an online business and market an online business, we're creating templates and swipe copy and resources for people to use so that they can have those things done for them instantly, or at least have a big shortcut. It's going to save them a ton of time and energy, and I'm so excited about giving people a big boost up. Now, from a business strategy standpoint, the reason we're making the shift is because this is the sort of product that people are more interested in buying these days. There's also a lot less competition with digital products in a lot of industries than there is with online courses. Now, part of the reason for this is because they're at a lower price point, so there's not as much potential profit to be made with each individual purchase. But if you run your promotions right, you can potentially get people to buy a whole bunch of different products at the same time, increase that average order value, and acquire a customer in the process. Because the thing is that generally less trust is needed to buy a tangible asset than to buy an educational product. Okay, that was kind of wordy and nerdy sounding, but in short, somebody will be more ready and willing to buy something where they can easily see the value of it, rather than a product that has more of a potential theoretical type value, like an online course that promises to teach you something in the future, but you don't know for sure if you're really going to get that outcome. So by selling these done-for-you resources, these digital products, we're hoping that we can more easily acquire more customers, and it's always easier to sell to an existing customer than it is to sell to someone who's never bought from you before, because once someone has bought from you, they see the quality of your products and they have a lot more trust for you. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not saying goodbye to those pre-recorded courses anytime soon because they're so convenient for the students and they generate passive income. So if you want to see behind the scenes in my business and exactly how I am continuing to successfully sell online courses with automated funnels, then head to gillianperkins.com/breakdown to get access to that free training where I'll walk you step by step through one of my most profitable funnels. All right, now next up, if you haven't already, you will definitely want to watch that video from last month where I break down exactly how online business has changed over this past year and 5 different tactics you can use to make sure that your business keeps growing and stays profitable.